Open up an entire room to the great outdoors with a folding patio door system from JELD-WEN. This video is to be used as a reference tool. Please follow the printed instructions. Here are the needed tools to install the folding door system. Please feel free to pause the video as necessary to view the list. Please see the full set of installation instructions for provided and needed installation materials. First, remove the shipping materials and make sure all hardware is included. Now, inspect the door and look for any cosmetic damage that may have occurred during shipping and to confirm the door is the correct size and color. Verify the width and height of the door frame are each 1/2 to 3/4 inch smaller than the rough opening. Now, verify the rough opening is square, level, and plumb. Next, install the sill pan according to installation instructions. On a clean, flat surface, carefully position the head, jambs, and sill with the interior facing down. Next, run a bead of silicone on all the surfaces of the sill. Remove backing paper from gaskets and adhere to both ends of the sill. Repeat the silicone application for the head where the ends will contact the jambs. Now, fit together flush and secure through the pre-drilled holes in the jambs using the 10 by 2.5 inch flat head screws. Before installing the frame, make sure to remove the center pivot housing. Having this removed will allow for the frame to slide right into the opening. Now, carefully install the frame into the opening. Make sure the frame makes solid contact with the sealant on the sill pan back down. Tilt the frame into the rough opening, pull the weather stripping out, and apply a temporary fastener. This fastener will keep your frame in place while you install your shims. Now it's time to shim the jambs. From the interior, shim the side jambs at each pre-drilled hole, or at a maximum 16 inches on center. Next, shim the head track next to the pre-drilled holes. Also shim at the strike plate, or plates if applicable, so that the strike plate screws, which are installed later, will each penetrate a shim. Now inspect the frame for square, level, and plumb. Remove the frame and reinstall if necessary. Now we will fasten the frame. To secure the head, fasten through each hole using the number 10 by 2.5 inch flathead screws. To secure the sill, put a generous amount of silicone sealant in each hole and drive a number 10 by 2.5 inch flathead screw through each hole. Now secure the side jambs through each pre-drilled hole. Once the frame is securely in place, use a 3/4 inch spade bit and drill a hole through the center pivot housing hole into the rough opening, deep enough to allow the housing to fit flush against the jamb. Then reinstall the housing in the frame with the 2 provided screws. To avoid damage to the rollers, clean all debris from the main roller track in the sill. Locate your product configuration and stage the hardware in the correct order for installing into the frame. Locate the cutout near the end of the sill track and insert the properly handed carrier set. Carriers should be positioned so that the tapered wheels face towards the interior and the horizontal wheels face toward the exterior. Now insert the pivot hinge. The hinge should be inserted so that the heel with the 2 screws is toward the interior of the sill track. Then slide it all the way against the jamb. Secure the lower pivot hinge to the sill track with two number 6x1" screws. Apply the aluminum sill cover plate on top of the lower pivot hinge and secure with two number 8x3/8" screws. Now, locate the cutout near the end of the head track and insert the upper track guide. Then install the pivot hinge. Align the metal hinge plate with the plastic housing and secure the hinge to the upper track with four number 6x1" screws. Study the overall door configuration before installing the first panel. Then stage the doors in their configuration on each side of the opening. Panels are numbered from the outside, left to right. Place a board near the outer edge of the first door panel. This will support the first panel as it is fastened to the frame. Before attaching the first panel, attach the bottom hinge onto the panel. This will make it easier when attaching the lower part of the door panel onto the hinge pin. It is important to always drive screws into the wood portion of the panel before the clad portion. Now, hold the door panel vertically and set the lower hinge of the pivot panel onto the pivot pin that's installed in the sill. Insert the center pivot pin into the hinge leaf and tilt the panel into place. Remove the hinge leaf from the top of the panel and center if present. For the second panel, hold the first panel in the open position. Place the second door panel wood face to wood face and align the tops of the door panels and the hinges. If present, make sure the center pull handle is to the inside. Secure hinges with the provided number 10x1.5" flathead screws. When completed, repeat for the opposite direction. Doors are adjusted at the factory, but may need some additional adjusting after assembly at the job site. Now, bring the doors to the closed position and push the flush bolt handles down to secure. Adjust the top and bottom pivots horizontally using a number 3 Phillip head screwdriver. Clockwise rotations will move the panel away from the jamb, and counterclockwise moves the panel towards the jamb. Close the panels and adjust until equal spacing exists between the panels and the jambs. To adjust the bottom pivot blocks and rollers vertically, insert a flathead screwdriver into the slot to release the spring, and turn the collar with an open-ended wrench. One rotation will provide approximately 1/16 inch adjustment. Right will raise the panel and left will lower the panel. Now, open and close the door system to check for smooth operation. The JELD-WEN W-4500 door system can be arranged in multiple panel configurations, and additional hardware installation may be required. On the interior, create a continuous air seal between the rough opening and the door frame, using a backer rod and sealant or low expansion foam. Install the sill track seal by beginning at one end and pressing it into the slot in the sill track. On the exterior, seal the gap between the door frame and the rough opening with backer rod and sealant. Remove any labels or other materials adhered to the glass within 30 days after installation. That's it, and now you're ready to enjoy your brand new JELD-WEN patio door.